everybody. This is Natalie from Light of Ascension Tarot. So happy to be with you today, or this evening, I should say. It is the evening of Saturday, September 18th. And yeah, if you go look out at the sky tonight, the moon is nearly full. We're coming up on a full moon in Pisces, in the last degrees of Pisces on the 20th of September. We're also going to enter into a Mercury retrograde in a couple of days here. And the fall equinox is on September 22nd when the sun moves into Libra. So what an exciting time it is for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. We are heading into official fall season. And for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, you are heading into your springtime. So I wanted to do a little reading today to talk about some replenishment for the old souls, okay? And for those of us that have been putting on some miles when it comes to our soul and our lifetimes and our experiences that we've had, and that sense of world weariness that can kind of set in, and just that need to feel replenished for all the old souls out there. And I was listening to a song called The Trip by a group called Still Corners, and I recommend this song greatly. It's called The Trip by Still Corners. And yeah, and in this song, they just sing so many miles in kind of this haunting, beautiful way. And it just reminds me of those old souls who choose to incarnate over and over and over again. So welcome into your reading, everybody. And we have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1, which is the Rainbow Aura Quartz. We have pile number 2, which is the Serpentine. And we have pile number 3, which is the Rose Quartz. So that is Rainbow Aura Quartz, Serpentine, and Rose Quartz. So pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. So take a deep breath and go towards what you're drawn to. This Rainbow Aura Quartz coincides to all 7 chakras. The Serpentine is very good for grounding. I got it in the Pacific Northwest when I used to live there. And the Rose Quartz is beautiful heart chakra quartz, one of the beautifulest pieces of rose quartz I've ever seen, in which someone very special got for me. So with that being said, you can go ahead and choose your pile. There'll be a link in the description box below to your pile. And merry meet, blessed be to all my fellow witches out there, both men and women, and those who don't gender identify. Welcome to my channel. I try to make my channel as inclusive as possible. I do have another channel, which is called powermoontarot by Natalie H, and there's a link to that channel in the description box below. And this channel, welcome here if you're new, is more dedicated to the spiritual journey, although both channels, of course, are spiritual, because that's what we do here. So let's go ahead and get into it without any further ado. Okay, pile number 1, let's get it. Scoot in so we can get more comfortable here. I'm gonna kick off my shoes too. I don't think I've ever done a reading with shoes on. So I gotta kick my shoes off, yeah. Let's go ahead and do it. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the Rainbow Aura Quartz, and today's reading is called So Many Miles, Replenishment for the Old Souls, okay? And this beautiful piece of Rainbow Aura Quartz I got here in Austin, Texas, and I'd been looking for a gorgeous piece of Aura Quartz, Rainbow Aura Quartz, and lo and behold, I found it. And actually tonight I was gonna wait to do this reading till tomorrow, but as I was walking my dog tonight, I saw the beautiful moon already slipping into Pisces before she is full on the 20th, and that full moon just inspired me to do your reading today, pile number 1. So let's go ahead and channel it in. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the wonderful energy of my beautiful pile number 1s who are here in the grace, dignity, and honor for my beautiful pile number ones. And give me some messages of replenishment for my old souls in pile number one, please. Okay, pile number one, let's go ahead and find out what your messages are. It's a beautiful journey. I mean, I feel like you guys have had, many lifetimes. You've had some low lows and high highs, and lifetimes where you built beautiful structures and saw your soul soaring high, and other lifetimes where you toiled and you sweat and you pushed hard, and sometimes maybe it didn't seem too fair. But yeah, I mean, I feel like your spirit is soaring now, pile number one. Let's go ahead and take a look at all that you've built here. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. A grounded new beginning, a very grounded new beginning. If you're going to have to start over on so many incarnations and so many lifetimes, it might as well be peaceful, meditative, and grounding, right? Might as well be. Start off with some powerful earth energy. We are still in Virgo season. We have the Three of Pentacles. So dedicated work and effort. What you put in, you get out. And people will respect you for your, for what you do, whatever you do for work, or whatever you do to help others, or however you exert your effort out in the world. I see you guys really working hard and running with something, and other people listening to your direction and being interested in what you have to share, teach, or sell. Okay. So some of you, I feel like maybe a new business idea or a new collaboration on the horizon. We have the Four of Wands, and no, it isn't reversed. Okay. I don't know why I feel like saying that, but your Four of Wands, your happiness, your joy, the efforts for all of your toiling and work is not reversed, meaning it is upright and it is beautiful, and it's a fine day. Okay. It's a fine day to put some effort in. The Three of Pentacles is Mars in Capricorn, and Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So you can really channel that Martian energy into something valuable. You can really channel your get up and go and your energy and your drive into something valuable and exciting, pile number one, because of all the experiences that you've had in many lifetimes, building things from scratch, building things from the very bottom floor up, I feel like. And in this lifetime, I feel you're going to see some beautiful rewards for that effort, particularly for some of you around a home or a beautiful place to live or to share with the beautiful people in your life, which I love. We have the Tower. Okay, so the Tower is saying, many times I feel you might have gotten weary, pile number one, because you put so much effort and you built something, like I said, from the bottom up, from scratch, and you took good care of it. And you had that moment in the sun, but I can see why you're feeling, it's like getting kicked out of paradise with the Tower. It's like, yeah, you built this whole thing, now get out of here, and it's like the inevitable changes that come in life when you get kicked out of something, when you kick your own self out of paradise. Sometimes you might not even know how good you had it until, it's over, right? Until the grass was greener. And sometimes we do that, even with incarnations. I feel like we don't know how good it actually was until, the very end. And it's like, wow, I wish I would have, had more happiness. I wish I would have not let some of these things get me down. But I feel like, you guys have endured a lot of setbacks, pile number one, on your mission. And sometimes maybe you've even had to abruptly abort mission in some lifetimes. Okay. Maybe through, and I don't know how much knowledge you have of your past lives, pile number one, but probably some very, some very challenging accidents or automatic, kind of energy of getting taken out. Okay. And, especially after you built something like a business or a home from scratch and then having that rug pulled out from underneath you, okay? And so I think you've had to contend with that. You've had to contend with that Mars, right? Because this is Mars exalted in Capricorn, and Tower is also Mars energy. It's that pure, raw energy of creation and destruction. Pile number one, which I think you have witnessed many, many times, many times. I was just watching a movie the other day, not to digress too much, but it was called Agora. You guys should definitely watch it, Agora. And it's about Hypatia, an ancient philosopher, astrologer, astronomy, temple, goddess type of, she wasn't like she was a real human, not just a goddess, but she was treated like that, you know, back in the day, like 400 AD in Alexandria, in the temples there, and she was able to lecture. She had a lot of men that followed her because of her knowledge and her expertise. But at one point, the Christians came and like leveled that temple. They basically destroyed it and a lot of the work that she had done. And the movie just shows what happened to her, right? And anyway, I bring up that movie, pile number one, because I feel like, you know, you have maybe been witness to some of this kind of destruction, all right? And whether you've had to start many businesses or start and stop many businesses or leave jobs, or situations when you got fired or you got kicked out of your home, I definitely feel like, you know, and you have to be a true, you know, spiritual gangster to ride the tower. You really do. You know, you got to be able to have faith in yourself to rebuild and to make the necessary changes if you're going to incarnate many, many times, okay? And we have the Six of Cups here. So yeah, I'm getting the energy of an earthquake. You know how the earthquake will shake the pictures on a wall. If you have a bunch of pictures hanging up on your wall, it will shake that, okay? And I'm seeing the word like Xavier, and yeah, interesting, okay? It's almost like the energy of long division. I'm also seeing NZ, which is like, to me, the initials NZ or NZT or New Zealand. You know, it's funny, do you guys remember that movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper? They talk about NZT in that movie and that pill that can make you do everything really fast. You know, anyway, 2 movies you should see, Limitless with Bradley Cooper and Agora, if you haven't seen them yet. But yeah, it almost, that movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper, and it talks about how he takes this pill and then he can do so much. Mars and Capricorn, he can do everything. He can learn everything. He can do everything. And then when he comes down off of that drug, he crashes really hard. Okay. And I feel like you guys try to fix things a lot. You try to rebalance the energy and you try to fix things. And I just want you to know, pile number one, your efforts are not wasted, okay? Your efforts are seen and appreciated and celebrated in the spirit world. You're a star and you're a darling of the spirit world. And I see her here reaching for the stars. You know, she's reaching for the star. And I see spirit in the background here really celebrating you. And I think you've been doing this since you were a child. You've been fixing things, or you just didn't want to run out of time. I feel, pile number one, you really didn't want to run out of time before you were able to do everything that you needed to get done and maybe stabilize the energies. And maybe in other lifetimes you kind of ran out of time, okay? So there might be that sense in this lifetime, I can't run out of time. Okay, we have 7 of Pentacles here. So, you know, tending to the very small details, tending to the little cracks in the pavement, you know, tending to the structures. Like, there's a lot of structures and a lot of towers that have been built around you, pile number one, but if the foundation is faulty, then it's not going to be able to stand. And I think you've seen that. You know, the 7 of Pentacles is a card of, you know, it's the Lord of Failure. So, you know, you've seen how when people don't build, also I feel when people don't seek your input, pile number one, like when they don't seek your input or your advice and things ultimately go downhill really fast, and then you're there trying to pick up the pieces and assist, and you can notice that there's these cracks in the foundation, okay? And there's some decision around that of like, should I tell them? Should I make them aware? Should I? And I feel for some of you too, this may even have to do with money, all right? And investing into things and putting a lot of energy into things, all right? Only to have them kind of taken from you. And Spirit is wanting to replenish you and say, you know, not only do you have the emotional and physical stamina to handle this, but you will have your moment in the sun, Four of Wands, okay? And we have Watchtower of the North and Winter. Hail to the guardians of the Watchtower of the North, pile number 1. It's like those mountain ranges high up in the mountains where it snows. And again, another tower. There's a tower in the fort. There's, you know, like, looks like a little house tower. There's a tower there. There's a tower here. There's a crack in a foundation here. Here's another tower, okay? And, you know, wintertime, right? If you don't build something right, wintertime can be rather lean, you know, the time for planting. I feel like sometimes maybe you might feel like it's too late with certain things, pile number 1, especially with other people. It's like the planting should have been done in springtime a long time ago to yield the harvest, right? And if it isn't done by that time, then it's going to be a very lean winter, okay? And Spirit is saying, you know, try not to get down about this and try not to worry so much, okay? Because I think you've done everything that you can to support yourself and others, pile number 1, okay? We have Wolf and Teacher, okay? Number 5 is a challenge number, and wolves and a teacher, right? So there's a lot of wisdom. When I think of the wolf, I think of wisdom through experience, right? And wolves travel in pack, the wolf pack. And but I feel like for some of you, this may have been a little bit solitary, except for when you're working with others. You might have been kind of alone in this teacher energy, asking others to listen to you so that you can help them, right? Before it gets to be too late. And you're a very powerful teacher, I feel, pile number 1. When you let people know and you share your wisdom, you are a very graceful, powerful teacher, okay? Oh, we have the fox. So we have the fox and the wolf. So the fox is all about, you know, thinking on your feet, and the wolf is all about wisdom. So you know that when there's planning involved, and that the fox energy to me is like the 3 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, and the wolf is like the tower or the teacher. Okay, if you do this and you take these steps and you follow this plan, you have your moment in the sun, your moment of, you know, completion, you finished something, right? But if steps got skipped or you were too busy helping others, maybe sometimes that tower came crushing down on you and you experienced some lean winters, maybe pile number 1, okay? And Spirit is just saying you are resourceful enough to handle anything that comes your way. You can think on your feet. I mean, with the tower, of course you have to think on your feet. When you're handling Mars energy, Aries energy, Mars energy, Scorpionic energy, 6 of Cups, you gotta be able to think on your feet, and you learn a lot through this experience of sudden loss, okay? And we have Snowflake Obsidian. I have Snowflake Obsidian. And Spirit wants to talk to you about clearing negativity, okay? Obsidian releases negativity, and with the added energy of snowflakes, look at this winter. Something big happening for you in winter. Winter and the 4 of Wands. Something is better, I feel, coming for you, pile number 1, this winter. And I love that, okay? It represents light overcoming darkness. Snowflake Obsidian brings new beginnings, hope after a setback, and a gentle, gradual improvement in whatever area that has caused distress in the past. That is beautiful. And I mentioned graceful in the beginning of your reading, that gentle improvement. As I focus on the positive, the negative energy gradually dissipates, okay? As I focus on the positive. And the fox, like, you've learned a lot, pile number one. You've learned a lot from these experiences, and you've got a lot to teach, right? You've got a lot to teach. And we have meditation, raise your vibration. So something about clearing negativity. If you have felt very upset with others, like, see, I told you, like, if you didn't do the XYZ, then this is definitely going to happen. Part of this is kind of letting other people work this out for themselves, right? I mean, you've gone through enough incarnations, you've gone through enough tough winters. I feel like during your incarnation, pile number one, you've gone through plenty of, you know, starts and stops and failures and being at the winter of your discontent, that, you know, other people kind of are going to have to kind of figure that out for themselves, even though I know you want to help. Okay, pile number one. And right now it's time to clear negativity and raise your vibration through meditation. We have ground, Ace of Pentacles, grounding energy, hug a tree. You need grounding. Okay. So definitely something, especially if you've been going through a lot of shifts and challenges with the Tower, grounding will help your emotional energy even out, I feel, as well. Pile number one. So that's beautiful. We have single-minded focus in the past. Okay. So in the past, you might have been had a very single-minded focus, or the people around you had a very single-minded focus, and they couldn't really plan for contingencies. They couldn't really save up for the winter. They built things on a faulty foundation, like I said, or maybe you did, right? And this whole thing of this Orion energy, I mean, having focus is good, right? When we start something, Ace of Pentacles, we want to have that focus. Mars in Capricorn, focus, force, determination, all of that. But at some point, you know, we gotta take our eyes off the ball a little bit and let things be what they'll be, okay? And I think Spirit is wanting to draw your attention to that, okay? We have card 59, an unfinished business, and this is Sirius energy from the star system Sirius, and this is present moment, okay? So Spirit is wanting to move you away from single-minded focus. If you've been solely focusing on others, or you've been solely focusing on trying to fix one thing for another person, or trying to teach them about something, Spirit is wanting you to work on some of your own unfinished business here first, okay? And it might literally be a business idea that you had. It might literally be an offering that you have to give to the world. It might literally be a present or a gift, and you know, I feel like I see a lightning bolt here on her chest, which is really funny. It's like you carry the energy of the Tower within you, and with that, pile number one, you produce these amazing, beautiful creations. There is unfinished business for you to accomplish right now, and for you to work on, okay? So it's important to stay grounded, and yes, remain focused, but not so much on other people and what they are doing or not doing, okay? Because that may be where some of the negativity you feel like maybe is coming from here. We have the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts, okay? So you're truly blessed, pile number one. You are truly, you know, blessed in the eyes of Spirit. And, you know, this is really that Spirit wants you to know that you're one of the chosen ones, and that Spirit is letting you walk through this door, is letting you walk through a door that others have walked through before, okay? And I feel like it's kind of like Ascension, you know, in a way here, that they're letting you walk through this door where others have walked before, but that doesn't take away from the specialness of your journey, pile number one. Like, your journey is not like everyone else's, and it is very special, okay? It is very special. And there are others who are gonna walk through this door with you too, okay? There are others as well, I feel. So very tender, very innocent. And I see the little girl here, very innocent. She's hugging this tree. The tree is like way too big for her, but she's still trying to hug it anyway. And there's like thousands of butterflies around the tree, okay? So yeah, that's happening. I do feel like that ascension energy is, and whatever unfinished business you have from other lifetimes, pile number one, you are gonna wrap them up in this lifetime. Try not to get too focused on the things that didn't work out right, or if somebody didn't take your advice, mentorship, leadership, and it went wrong. Try not to focus on that too much, okay? We have willpower. So whatever you do is gonna be highly charged, all right? And she's holding the moon and she's holding the earth here. And she's taking her feelings and focusing it into her intent, which is something I heard recently about, you know, when we just think about something like, oh, I think I want to do this in the morning, but we don't actually do it, right? It takes willpower, and willpower is based on feelings. So I feel I want to do this, and that's what kind of motivates us. And she's holding, like, to me, this also feels like the World card in the tarot, because she's holding the world and looking at it. It also feels like the Two of Wands to me, and that sense of dominion and willpower, okay? So if you can feel it, it can happen for sure. And there's, for you, pile number one, there's a huge link between your feelings and your emotions and what manifests in your outer world. And of course, there is for a lot of old souls, but there is a very, very strong link here. So, you know, there's the willpower to take on some unfinished business here on earth that you've wanted, that you felt you wanted to do for a long time. So it is the time for that, pile number one. Ooh, I love it. We have full moon, and I was just talking about the moon, and your last card here is surrender to the divine, full moon, okay? And we have a full moon coming up in 2 days here. It's gonna be the full moon in Pisces. So that's beautiful, you know, and there is energy for you to draw on here. The divine is saying, you know, and that's such an interesting message about willpower and surrendering to the divine, right? Because you might think that the two are opposite, right? Where if I just will it and push it and go, it's gonna happen, right? But then there's this other message of surrender to the divine. It's like the magician with the high priestess, okay? It's like the masculine and the feminine. And where, you know, you're learning when the tower, you're learning when to surrender, but you're also learning when to apply willpower, Three of Pentacles, and when to start something new and to really go for it, Four of Wands, okay? And in other moments when you really need to surrender. And I feel you're working on this delicate balance within yourself. The willpower is like the single-minded focus, and the unfinished business is like surrendering to the divine, okay? So yeah, it's a big hearty mission, I feel, that you have, pile number one. And you know, it involves a lot of inner tenderness and rare gifts. It says rare gifts, and we have the fox and the wolf. So it's those very rare gifts that you have, and don't let them get bogged down in trivial things, pile number one, okay? You're supposed to be expansive and grounded. Be grounded, but also be expansive. I know. it's a tricky fox. It's a tricky business, okay? But yeah, the big message here too, the snowflake obsidian, and clearing negativity and raising your vibration, grounding yourself so that you can continue this beautiful work that you're doing. So thank you so much, pile number one. I hope you enjoyed your reading. What a powerful, interesting reading. Many soul cycles for you indeed. That's why you are so strong and wise. So thank you for being here, pile number one. Like literally, thank you for being on the earth plane. And thank you for joining your reading. And if you'd like to leave me a comment, if you'd like to like, share, subscribe, or drop me a comment, I would really love to see all your comments. So thank you so much, everybody, and take care. Let's go ahead and move into my beautiful pile number twos. Okay, let's do it for my pile number twos. Let's do it. Pile number 2, you chose the Serpentine stone. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called So Many Miles, Replenishment for My Old Souls, okay? So if you consider yourself an old soul and you've traveled so many miles, you feel so far from home, pile number 2, I know the feeling of being gone for so long. It feels forever. And I was listening to a song tonight called The Trip by Still Corners, and there's this haunting verse in it that goes so many miles, and it really inspired me to make this video. So let's go ahead and do your reading, pile number 2. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the amazing, fantastic Wonder Woman, Wonder Man, Wonder Person energy of my beautiful pile number 2s. And wow, okay, thank you, Spirit. Pile number 2, I feel like you have some money that is falling on you or falling from the sky. I see some making it rain happening for you, pile number 2, which is very cool. I'm doing this with my hands because I'm like, boom, boom, boom. There goes the money tree. There goes the money tree. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so that's really fantastic news for you, pile number 2. Let's go ahead and see what Spirit would like to talk to you about when it comes to replenishment for my old souls. We have 7 of Cups. Well, when you're that good, pile number 2, it can be hard to decide what to do next when you're that good. Ooh, King of Wands, all right? All right, we have the Ace of Swords and clearing your head, and we have the 10 of Pentacles. There goes the money tree, the 10 of Pentacles, all right? It's on the 10 of Pentacles is actually a diagram of the tree of life. You can see the middle pillar, the left pillar, the right pillar. You can see Malkut at the bottom. The 10 of Pentacles is the tree of life, and the 10 of Pentacles in general is a card of wealth. It's the Lord of Wealth. So boom, boom, there goes the money tree, pile number 2. Now, if you feel like somebody has been very demanding on you, whether it's yourself, whether it's a boss, whether it's a partner, a friend, or whoever, I do feel this sense of hurry up and make up your mind, okay? And hurry up and decide what you want to do here. And I think, you know, you're a dreamer and a mystic, pile number 2, and you have a lot of genius ideas for making money, all right? Ace of Swords and 10 of Pentacles. And it's like what to do first, all right? And some of you guys may be starting your own businesses, being entrepreneurs, because the King of Wands is very entrepreneurial, very much a leader, very much in charge, but it's fire of fire energy. So it can be impulsive. It can be, I mean, generally you think by the time you get up to the Kings, you're less impulsive, but I also feel like it's not impulsive. It's more like impatient. Okay, so are you being impatient with yourself, or is another person being impatient with you? Or have you dealt with a lot of impatient people when you're trying to figure out what you want to do, or what you like, or what you're into, or what you'd like to start next? Because the idea is going to come, it's going to be there, and it is going to be very fruitful and very ecstatic. What the hell is that word, pile number 2? ECASTIC. Ecstatic? Is that it? It's almost like being moved towards something in like a religious fashion. You know, it's like, I feel so moved to do that. I feel so inspired to take ownership of this and really, you know, drive it home. I feel very passionate about this idea or this path, you know, and I think if you've been waiting for that, to feel that sense of urgency or passion or commitment towards something, and you've been frustrated with yourself because you feel you've been in a fog, or you haven't been able to dial it in or commit, or maybe you just haven't been feeling clear in your head. Like there's so many things, right? And when you are talented, when you're an old soul and you've lived many lives, you're very talented. I mean, you know, you get a lot of ideas, and you have a lot of probably money-making ideas and a lot of ways to, you know, materialize that in your life, right? And there's this sense of urgency, like I need to decide what I'm gonna do right now and I need to pick a path right now. And for some of you guys, you may be dealing with this energy at the workplace too. For those of you that are not freelancers, that work in an environment of somebody being like, hurry it up, you know, or demanding that you finish something, or having this impatient energy. Are you ever going to get around to that, right? And, you know, you've got to process pile number 2. If you work for yourself, you could be doing it to yourself too, you know. When you work for yourself, you're just your own boss, right? So sometimes you to yourself can be that way, right? But I think, you know, there's this sense of, and maybe it's a parental figure or somebody, a father figure, or a parental figure, an older brother, an older sister, just saying, you know, when are you going to finally settle down? When are you finally going to make up your mind about something, right? And you may be feeling this kind of pressure right now, pile number 2, to do this, okay? And the thing is that, like, I feel your type of genius, it can't really be rushed. The 10 of Pentacles, we take our time to build something, all right? And those ideas are there, and that inspiration is there, you know, manifested in the Ace of Swords. But it takes effort to get there, right? And you may be frustrated with yourself, like, how do I do this? I have the idea, I know what it is, I know what I want to do, but how do I execute this, okay? How do I do this? I feel like some of you are wondering. We have the Sun here. Okay, pile number 2. So the Sun, I mean, it's going to be clear with the Ace of Swords and the Sun. It's going to be very clear what your next step is. And there is a lot of passion, leadership, authority, a lot of you shining, taking center stage, putting your creations into motion, taking your baby and making it your reality. Wonderful. We have the King of Cups. So we have the King of Wands and we have the King of Cups. So 2 different approaches, right? 2 different approaches. Both can get you there, all right? We have this King of Cups. He's sitting on a broken down car, and he or she, because it doesn't have to be a man or a woman, sitting on a broken down car, scratching their head. What should I do here? You know, what's next? What's next for me? And then all of a sudden, the Sun, I know exactly what I need to do to get this thing up and moving, okay? But you can't be impatient with yourself, I feel like. And if somebody is being impatient with you, pile number 2, they don't really know what your process is or how you work, but you always get it done at the end of the day. We have candles and magic. So there is something about fire in your reading, I feel, and using creative authority and using creativity responsibly, okay? Taking responsible if you're missing deadlines, if you're not sticking to a schedule and you're like, I can't figure out why I'm, you know, then pile number 2, this reading is kind of serving as a mirror for you, I feel like, to kind of look at some of these issues. If your environment has felt very disorganized and scattered, or and you're like, I'm not sure what I need to do to kind of fix this, I feel like, you know, I feel like it's gonna come, and there may be some spell work, right? With this magic, you may light a candle, you might say a prayer over it. I'm drawn to the green candle in the back. You guys have the Serpentine, which is this beautiful green. And I talked about the money tree and green candles, you know, really helping. Maybe meditating in front of a green candle, staring at the flame, waiting for those ideas to kind of come in. Pile number 2 would be really good for you. But there is something here about working with creativity and fire in a responsible way, okay? And using your considerable powers, you know, not getting derailed by messes or sloppiness, I feel like, pile number 2, okay? We have the butterfly and evolve. I love that. So that's a beautiful symbol of transformation and evolving. And even though you're an old soul and you've been to the earth plane many times, and you've had many choices over many lifetimes to make, you know, I feel like you have the Midas touch in a way, like with the Sun and the 7 of Cups. Whatever you touch is going to turn to gold. It is going to be good. don't second guess yourself, okay? This King of Cups looks a little broken down, like he or she is kind of second guessing him or herself, okay? So I don't want you to do that. Even though you're a very old soul, pile number 2, know that you're evolving on a deep level, okay? And I think it has something to do like with your self-worth and your right to kind of do what you love and pick your path. For some people in this lifetime, they're lucky enough to have a soul mission that correlates with what they do in life. And that's, you know, that's pretty inspiring. And if you get to have that in this lifetime, you know, kudos to you, pile number 2, okay? And you are evolving, all right? You're thinking on wealth or money or success or effort, or family. Like, these things are evolving for you, and there is magic happening on the back end, I feel here. Oh, we have the dolphin. Look at how sweet you are. The dolphins, of course, are very psychic, and they are an animal. I mean, the butterfly and the dolphin are two very gorgeous animal totems, okay? The dolphin is very sweet and sensitive and psychic. Very talented. I mean, dolphins are some of the most, like, you know, like brilliant creatures on this planet, you know? So think that about yourself, pile number 2. You're one of the most brilliant creatures on this planet. And I feel like if, you know, we were going to sort you into a Harry Potter house, you would probably be Hufflepuff with the dolphin, okay? It's very sweet. Very sweet and very loving. And don't worry about pleasing others. Don't worry about making decisions to please others. You know, you can swim in the fast lane. You're one of the most majestic creatures. You're evolving into something very beautiful, all right? And I love the pink butterfly. I love the pinks and the oranges and the greens in this reading. Pink, orange, and green. I love those colors for you. Pile number 2. Let's see what else. We have blue calcite, the power of the spoken word, Ace of Swords, the power of the spoken word. The light soothing color of blue calcite stimulates the throat chakra and conveys the power of the spoken word. Words are like seeds. What you plant takes root and grows and produces crops. Be mindful of what you say because your reality is created by the words you speak. Interesting, because pile number 1 had a similar thing come up. Affirmation. I only speak about what I would like to create in my life, thus I draw it to me, okay? If you're second guessing yourself and you feel pressured to make up your mind, I'm not sure, everything's a whirlwind, I've got to make up my mind, right? Somebody's waiting for you to speak on something, right? The Ace of Swords is like you taking it and saying, yeah, I know what I want now. I can see what it is that I want to invest in here. And I feel like the sun is also helping you to, you know, I only speak about what I would like to create in my life, the sun, right? And yeah, so that's beautiful. Yeah, pile number 2. Words become very powerful. And not just spoken words, but also your psychic thoughts too with the dolphin energy. Because that telepathic psychic communication, what you're telling yourself also too. Like, I can't believe I'm in this place, and how come I'm not farther ahead in my life? And I still feel so young even though I'm older. Like, whatever you're telling yourself, pile number 2, Spirit is saying that's enough, okay? And, you know, ching ching goes the money tree, pile number 2, chang chang ching, whatever you want to say. I'm trying to give the noise of coins. Coin, coin, coin goes the money tree. Clairaudience. I knew this was going to come up. Clairaudience. Are your ears ringing or humming? Spirit is trying to reach out to you, okay? So there's a message here, Ace of Swords, and maybe you'll find it in this reading. And also not just speaking, but listening too, right? With clairaudience. So there's something powerful with your throat chakra right now, pile number 2, about your communication and what you're picking up and receiving from others, which is quite a bit of psychic information. So don't second guess yourself. You're seeing things for what they are. If you're rushing yourself, you know, sometimes people, like other readers, I've talked to other readers before when they feel like they rush themselves in readings, and it's like, don't rush yourself, okay? For those of you who do any type of intuitive work, don't rush yourself, okay? Or any type of work in general. That becomes important. We have challenges. Do you know how special you are? The universe knows. Aw, pile number 2. Do you know how special you are? The universe knows. Like I said, you're a dolphin. You're one of the most majestic creatures, okay? So there's magic inherent in that. Your soul is evolving. And when I think of dolphins, I think of Lemuria and the ancient continent of Lemuria. Maybe some of you guys have connection into that, but just remember that, you know, you have the sun here, okay, and 2 kings. So you're mastering a lot. You're evolving and you're mastering a lot here, pile number 2. We have card 31, Zeta Reticuli, rejecting emotion. So this is probably something in the past. I mean, I think you guys are very psychic. Maybe you're clairaudient. You pick up a lot on what other people are saying. And I feel like this King of Cups is looking quite confused, okay? And this could be in your past, like, or people that rejected you and you couldn't figure out why. Or they rejected your insights, even though you knew what was up, even though you knew what was going on. They made you feel like maybe at times like you couldn't trust yourself and you couldn't trust your own intuition, which is total BS, pile number 2, because you can, okay? You have magic, butterfly, dolphin, and the sun. This is like very innocent type energy, okay? And if people are getting frustrated with you, it may be because they're intimidated by you. You know, a lot of times people look at, you never know, right? You think, oh, that person can't possibly be intimidated by me. I don't know, pile number 2. You have a lot of rare gifts and you are an old soul and you've incarnated many, many times. And that can make other people kind of intimidated. And then they start checking you and you start to feel weird about yourself, okay? And that, you know, Ace of Swords, very empowering energy, the power of the spoken word, and not rejecting what you're feeling, okay? Not rejecting what you're feeling because you're like the dolphin. You just swim through it. You go through it, okay? And we have missing link and the earth, okay? So this is something you've done, is you've come to help humanity understand the missing pieces from the past and the missing link from the past, okay? And you've come to shed light on this. And if you've run into a lot of people who reject their emotions and seem to be missing big pieces of their history, and you're helping people understand who they are and what they want in life, I feel like, okay? And yeah, through these challenges that you faced within yourself, you're now helping others, I feel, pile number 2. And, you know, the missing link was this emotional connection, I feel. This sense of I can't feel what I'm feeling and I can't shine a light on this because other people, A, are too impatient or they just can't take it, right? Which is a lie. And I think that you're starting to see that, right? And you came back, I feel, over and over, pile number 2, to help restore this missing link from the past. All right, beautiful, pile number 2. We have star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, and activation. And you can see here she's lying down. It looks like she's lying down on a beautiful star, on, you know, although that would be impossible, or I don't know. Is it impossible, pile number 2? I mean, not when we're in spirit form, right? Not astrally. It's not impossible astrally. Looks like she's like laying down and she's bathing in that starlight and she's absorbing the energy from the crystal grid, and she's also transmitting communication as well, okay? So if you felt very confused or you needed to take your time on things, pile number 2, earlier in life, don't worry about that, okay? Connect to your light body, connect to the stars, and work silently for a little bit and listen and then speak, okay? And it's establishing that link that transmission between this plane and the other planes. Very cool, very spooky. Pile number 2. Oh my God, look at this. Look at the butterfly. Look at this transformation. Look at this gorgeous butterfly. That's the second butterfly. Wow, pile number 2. You're really blossoming into this gorgeous butterfly. You know, it's so funny. When I was in my early 20s and I was trying to sleep one night, I saw a butterfly appear in front of me, and its wings were huge, and it was electric, and it was all these different colors, and it was neon, and it was flashing, and the wings were just so wide in front of me. And yeah, this butterfly on this card just reminds me of this. So transformation and evolving. You're here to help establish that missing link that humanity, I feel like, has had with its spiritual body, okay? And you're helping to transform and change that. It's beautiful, pile number 2. So don't doubt what you're feeling. I mean, if you cast aside what you were feeling in the past, like rejected your own emotions, Spirit is saying, you know, that's the energy that was kind of blocking you up and causing a challenge. So once you're rid of that, it's Ace of Swords time. It's clear thinking, clear feeling. Oh, nice. Pile number 2. We have a new moon. And it says a new start is coming. Ace of Swords, transformation, evolving, a new start. The sun is coming into your life, okay? If you felt confused, run down, tired, I don't know if I can trust what I'm feeling, I'm not sure what I want to do, I feel like all of this is clearing for you, and a new start or a new moon is coming. We are about ready to hit the full moon in Pisces in a couple days, and then we'll be on another 2-week journey, and we'll be entering into the new moon in Libra. Okay, so watch over the next couple of weeks for yourself to get lighter, to get clearer, and to have some great ideas and breakthroughs coming through. And I do feel there's some candle magic with candles in the middle, particularly with green candles, or some money spell work you could be doing here as well. And the power of the spoken word when you're doing spell work, or when you're engaging in that, okay? And the power to listen, but also the power to speak. And yeah, that's beautiful, pile number 2. I love your message. And yeah, as Spirit just wanted me to tell you, do you know how special you are? The universe knows, okay? So I want you to remember that about yourself, pile number 2. So thank you so much, my lovelies. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope that that was replenishing for you. I hope you felt very seen in that reading. And do leave me a comment, like, share, subscribe if you found the reading really resonated for you. And I hope to see you again soon, pile number 2. Take care. Okay, let's go ahead and get into pile number 3. Let's do it. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the Rose Quartz, and today's reading is called So Many Miles, Replenishment for the Old Souls, okay? And I was listening to a song called The Trip by Still Corners, and there's a haunting melody in it where she sings so many miles, and it makes me think of all the old souls out there who've been incarnating over and over, who, you know, are on their last lifetimes, have been gone from home for a long time. So let's go ahead and get into your beautiful, soft velveteen. It's like that velveteen rabbit. Maybe a rabbit is a symbol for your reading, pile number 3. That's beautiful. Rabbits are so cute. They're so sweet. I love that. Let's get into it. Spirits, angels, and guides for my beautiful pile number 3s, please connect me to some replenishing energy for my old souls who are watching this reading, all right? You guys may have a special connection to animals in general, or be able to just look at them and kind of have a conversation with them, that's beautiful. That's a wonderful talent, and animal communicators are definitely needed, okay? So you are needed. Pile number 3, if you ever thought, oh, I'm not special, or the world doesn't need me, bullshit. Pile number 3, the world definitely needs you, okay? And your loving heart with this rose quartz, very much connecting to the energy of the angels. And this is the first pile that I've mentioned the angels. So I just want you to know that, pile number 3, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it and talk about replenishment. So many miles, replenishment for the old souls. Ooh, strength. There we go, there we go. Look at the little lamb. Aw, the little lammy. I was talking about the rabbits and the lamb. I was actually thinking about a white rabbit, and here's like a white lamb, okay? And protection. You are very much, you protect. Whether you have kids of your own or kids love you or animals love you, you're very protecting. You have that protective mama bear, papa bear kind of energy. We could have Leo energy too, but you're very protective. Very loving heart here, pile number 3. 2 of Cups. Oh my God. Aw, that's so sweet. And, you know, some of you guys wondering, like, am I going to have someone to share this journey with, to share my love with? Absolutely. I feel pile number 3. Okay. And for those of you that are involved, you know, in a connection, I feel this connection is, you know, it helps you to soften, you know. It's like love causes us to soften, and it causes us to you know, bend and compromise for the other. It causes us to, in a good way though, in a positive way, where we learn to share our lives and our heart with someone. And that's beautiful, pile number 3, okay? We have 6 of Pentacles. Isn't that nice, okay? And it shows that, like, you've been giving a lot, all right? When I think of the 6 of Pentacles, I think of that charity energy. So, you know, you've been reincarnating on this planet many times over and over, pile number 3, in order to give to others, in order to be of service, to provide comfort, to provide a sense of peace and home. And, you know, the 6 of Pentacles is a Moon and Taurus card, so nourishing, right? And you need that replenishment too, because I feel you do give out that replenishment to others, you know, and you're there when you're also an amazing friend. I feel, pile number 3, you're there, you're a pillar of strength. You're there when someone needs you, and you're like, you don't have to do this alone. I've got you. Wow, that is such a powerful thing to do. And, you know, and you are quite generous with others in the way you share your talents and your gifts, and also just your time, you know, because time is the shortest, you know, time is the main thing that we have on the earth plane, right? It's the main investment, and time is what, you know, eventually kind of like is depleted from our life cycle over the years, right? And so even just the sharing of your time and your wisdom, pile number 3, very beautiful. The Page of Pentacles. So I feel like you show people what's valuable, what's resourceful, what's needed, okay? And I don't feel this as materialism, although, you know, getting paid and all of that is wonderful. All of that is great. If you're like, I gotta get paid, Natalie, then watch pile number 2, okay? Because that was a different energy. But I feel like it's almost like you're showing people this is what it is to be of service. This is what it is to be humble. This is what it is to give to others. This is what it is to this is the reason to live. This is a reason to get on the ground, to get on the earth plane, right? Is so that you can weave together these beautiful tapestries, this mandala, I feel like, with this pentacle, okay? And I call the pages are also princesses in the top deck. So we can say, you know, the Princess of Pentacles as well here. And the Princess of Pentacles is like pregnant with something new again, like starting over the entire cycle, going back to the Fool, and starting the new journey over and over again. And it's like giving life to that new cycle, supporting others. And for those of you that are parents, or your siblings, or you were like a parent to a sibling, or you were, you know, or you were like that for your nieces or nephews. I mean, there's so many ways, or you're to your animals. There's so many ways to hold that, or to a complete stranger. There's so many ways to hold that loving, nurturing energy, okay? And it's not like it's not like I don't feel like you're getting completely sapped from this either. Maybe in the past you did a little bit, pile number 3, you know, maybe you gave a little too much in the past, right? But I feel like you've really learned, you've come through this portal of strength, and you've really learned what it is to, you know, like, it's like there's like the giving and nurturing side, and then there's the fierce protective side too. And they work in balance with each other. And that's the key to your service, I feel, pile number 3 in this world, all right? It's like, it's also the lion, but it's also the lamb, which is beautiful, okay? It's like the dove and the serpent, the lion or the lamb. I feel you mix these energies, 2 of cups, you mix them, and what you have to give others is very powerful, the way you show up, okay? I love it. We have the 3 of cups. Damn, pile number 3. I love this 3 of cups in this deck too. It shows these 3 women. They've got their hands up in the air, and they're like, you know, the cups are in midstream. They're turned upside down, but they've got them suspended in the air and manipulating the elements in a way, all right? That's magician stuff right there, pile number 3. And when you lend your energy into something, it becomes 1,000 more times powerful, okay? And that may have been something that you've had to learn over time, that like whatever you put your energy into, it multiplies. And you know, whether it's a person or an idea or anything that you're gonna get behind and invest your energy into is going to become more powerful and uplifted because you were present through it, all right? And I think you've learned through this strength card here, you've learned when to put it in, you know, when to put that upliftment in, and when to, it's the balance with the 2 of cups and the 6 of pentacles. You've had many incarnations to work with this type of balance, I feel. We have the 8 of pentacles. Wow, pile number 3. You're so good at seeing how things fit together. You're so good at, like, you know, taking the smallest thing and seeing how it fits in together in the bigger picture. All right, and I'm getting names that start with an A right now, or like the name Amal, or names like that, okay? Or just names that start with an A, like Andy, Andrea. But I feel you guys are very good at seeing, you're so good at seeing how every little thing that we do through service is impacting the bigger whole. All right, and maybe you didn't see that at first. Maybe you didn't fully get that, and you felt like maybe you were like, it didn't matter, you know, or what you were doing didn't matter. Like I mentioned in the beginning of your reading, but you matter, and it does matter, and you are starting to understand the teeny tiny picture and the super big picture, and how all things fit together in this way. It's like this beautiful cosmic puzzle, I feel, pile number 3, that's really resonating in you. We have spell, okay. All right, we have spell and manifestation. So this is coming under the 6 of Pentacles. So, you know, after a time of extending yourself to others and helping others, hey, why not do a little bit if you, because I don't think you're going to drain yourself empty, pile number 3. You know, you got this strength card anchoring you here. And you know when it's time to pull your energy back these days. But I do think, make sure to ask for what you want too. And everything that you're giving and doing for others, you know, you can ask for that back, okay? If you've helped others, you can also ask to receive and ask for help too. Okay, like you can definitely do that. And I'm drawn to the feather here, so some of you guys may have seen feathers, or as a sign of magic, or that magic is happening, or a spell is working. But also I want to just introduce this concept to you, pile number 3. Maybe it's not new, but it's kind of coming to me right now, that the service that you do for humanity is a spell. It's a spell. Okay, and you might think, oh, what I'm doing is so small, I'm just helped a friend or whatever. That's not it. What you do, what you put into motion is a spell. spell because you are powerful. Strength, okay? We have monkey and humor. Aw. Okay, so when you're feeling, if you're feeling kind of, I think, you know, it's almost too humble in a way, pile number 3. I think you've gone through these lessons of learning humble, and you've had many lifetimes to perfect, you know, the humble servant and all of that. I mean, I think it's time to really believe in the power of you. And I do think that there is some, you know, like the 3 of Cups is very uplifting. The 2 of Cups, very happy card too. Humor. So there is something here about replenishing for you, something having to do with humor, because some of the things you do or for others might be very serious or heavy at times, or may get that way with the Page of Pentacles. And Spirit is saying, you know, make sure to put the pentacle down, walk off the stage, walk off the scene, pile number 3, and have some fun, laugh, okay? Laugh and have some fun. We have the octopus. Okay, so when I see this octopus, you know, he's got a lot of arms. He or she has a lot of arms, and there's a lot that you do, but I don't want you to get too tired. Pile number 3, okay? You got to do physical things as well as have fun and take time out too, amongst everything else that you're doing and giving. And you need to have proper sleep as well, because the crown chakra is definitely activated here. And so that you're not just kind of like swimming in multiple directions and pulling on multiple energies, all right? Because I do feel like that could tire you out. This octopus can do a whole lot, and octopuses are like very ancient anyway. And when you look at their eyes, I don't know if you've ever seen one. I saw one before in Seattle at the aquarium there, and you know, it's kind of sad because it's in an aquarium, but its eyes were like so old, you know, it's that old kind of soul. And even in your eyes, I feel like pile number 3, people can see that you're an old soul, all right? You don't have to work so hard or try so hard. Like, think about everything else you did in other lifetimes as well. Ease up a little bit, okay? Get the right sleep. And I also just want to say, for those of you that like drinking, smoking, etc., I'm not here to tell you not to do it. I'm just saying that, you know, try to find a little different ways to unwind or relax, all right? Because I think it's important that you keep your constitution really, really strong with this strength card, like your physical body and your constitution, Page of Pentacles, very strong, because you are working with a lot of energy, all right? We have Ruby Zoistite. Follow your bliss. 3 of Cups, 2 of Cups. Ruby is a crystal for passion, and Zoistite green is for the heart. This crystal reminds you to follow the passion of your heart. By following your bliss, you will always have the inspiration and drive to fulfill your destiny. The universe will send the appropriate experiences and opportunities your way. As I follow my bliss, all doors open for me. Wonderful opportunities come my way. Oh, I love that. Follow your bliss. And it's easier, right? Life becomes easier. We're like making love to life rather than like resisting it. I never actually really said that. I mean, it's such a funny statement, making love to life rather than resisting it. I've never really said that in a reading, but it's kind of cheesy. Maybe you found it humorous, pile number 3. But yeah, it's like making love to life in a way here is what I'm seeing. We have permission. Allow spirit and source to work through you. Okay, so there is something here. You don't have to figure it all out on your own. And sometimes you may enjoy like the puzzle and the grand scheme of things and all of that, but you don't have to do everything on your own, and you can definitely ask spirit to help you. okay? Permission, right? Give the angels, I mentioned the angels are, you know, they can't really intervene unless you give them permission. So you can say, you know, Archangel Michael, everyone, I love Michael, but let's use like Raphael, Archangel Raphael, come into my life and heal me, give me my sense of vitality and energy, make my constitution strong, help me to see the bigger picture in all things, and help me in my work as well, okay? And I love that she's wearing what looks like a wedding dress here. So some of you guys are looking for love, and I do think that that is possible with the passion in the heart, okay? I do think that is very possible. Permission to help granted. Pendulum, strengthening your intuition. So maybe some of you guys need to work with the pendulum. And the pendulum is easier to work with. I mean, it's interesting because my boyfriend does a lot of work with pendulums and he's very good at them. I don't really know how to do them. But if you do a lot of divination and you're trying to see all the tiny, tiny little things, Eight of Pentacles, I think the pendulum might be a better way to, you know, because you ask it some questions and then it gives you yes, no, and then you establish a rapport with it, you give it permission to work with you and vice versa, and it helps you to strengthen that intuition, okay? And especially if you're kind of like stressed or tired at the end of the day and you've had drinks or you've been smoking, and it's important to take like smoking weed or whatever. I'm not against it, pile number 3. Like, I'm all for it, whatever you want to do with yourself. But I just think, you know, I think you need a clear crown chakra right now. All right. So try not to douse yourself in too much TV, too much of anything is not good for you right now. All right. Keep it light is what I feel. 91, dream time and awakening. Yeah, sleep is so important. We have the whale spirit here. Okay, so dream time and when you wake up. I do think some of you may be waking up tired, or like you feel like you didn't get sleep, and it may be because you're dreaming very actively, but you're not really remembering those dreams. And I feel like your dreams have a lot of inspiration and, you know, big time truths in them. And there's a whole new world in the dream world, right? It's all there. And I do feel like a good night of sleep will help increase your intuition, also giving spirit permission to help you through this process, okay? And we have 53 and belief system, present day earth, okay? So there's this whole belief system that, you know, things have to be really hard and complicated in order for them to be worth anything, right? And, you know, and following your bliss, I mean, it's great, but it also can feel exhausting, you know? It's like, I got to get up at 5 a.m. to follow my bliss, right? I mean, that's a bit much. And there's all these belief systems around, you know, productivity and follow your bliss, right? Which I love this statement, follow your bliss, but I also think it can be, you know, this monkey's like, I don't want to follow my bliss. Fuck you, you know? And this Page of Pentacles is like, I got other shit to do, you know? And feeling kind of tired or maybe worn out, okay? So I do think there is something here for you guys about looking at your belief system, or just the belief systems present day on the earth plane. Okay, and that might be a lot. And maybe some of you have been looking at that and it's been like the belief systems on the earth plane are kind of bullshit in a lot of ways. I feel like some of you guys, like, you know, monkey with the mind, you may have been thinking about this a lot, putting together the systems and the patterns of what's showing up in the world. And you're like, this is crap, you know? And if you have been in that energy, you know, you are getting restored, and you're with the whales, you're getting restored at dream time. When you awaken, you're getting these messages. And I feel like just don't get too, you know, don't get too drugged down by basically the belief systems on the earth plane, because you would be right. There's a lot of belief systems on the earth plane that are currently not helping humanity or anybody involved in them, okay? And it's making people real tired, this octopus energy, and it's making them feel like they're not valuable or they don't have something valuable to offer. But you do, pile number 3, okay? And I want you to know that. We have You Got the Love, Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. So this is something that I was talking about earlier, about maybe in the past when in other lifetimes, you know, you're considerably gifted and you help many, pile number 3, you really do. And you know, when you work with someone, it's like a spell, pile number 3, even with the collective, okay? And you've got a lot of love. You've got the love, right? You've got a lot of gifts and a lot of love to share, this 2 of Cups. But Spirit is saying, you know, don't do stuff because other people are expecting it, or because, I mean, if you promise, then you're going to do it, right? You got to follow through. But at the same time, like, you don't need to just say and do things to make other people feel comfortable, all right? And I think you know that. I don't know what Hadarian energy is, but I'm gonna look that up, because what is Hadarian? Hadarian. If someone wants to post something about Hadarian energy or what that is, go ahead and do that, because that's really interesting energy. All right, and I feel like I'm seeing your face in many different lifetimes. I feel like you could have been a man or a woman in different lifetimes. I feel some of you have incarnated mostly as a woman, but I feel like you've had masculine lifetimes as well. And I think that old soul energy is definitely in your face and eyes, for sure, pile number 3, okay? And it's important to take care of yourself, of course. We have career. All right. So some of you guys deciding what it is that you want to be doing for your career in the long term. And career can be another one of those things that gets, you know, like the belief systems around, well, you have to have a career, or you have to have this, or you have to be doing that, right? And that can get really draining and old, okay? So I kind of want to challenge you in like climbing the ladder, right? Climbing the ladder, the career, all that shit. I mean, I feel like, I don't mean to be mean about careers. I had one for 20 years myself, but you know, I'm drawn to the birds in the background, how I'm getting like the name Micah or Michaela or MC names, all right? There's the A's I was getting earlier. And I'm seeing an I and an A here as well. It could also be like Australia. I feel that energy. But there's something about freeing yourself from the ideas of what society says you should be doing, right? And what does that mean to you, right? There's a funny meme that I posted on Facebook that's like, I don't want a career. I want to be in the forest dispensing advice with my weird owls, okay? So it's like, what motivates you? What helps you grow? What, you know, your soul calling, your soul purpose, okay? And sometimes it's just enough to get up every day and kind of get through it, but I do feel there is something with these birds here. I do feel there is something calling you, okay? And it's deeper than a career. It's deeper, all right? And we have here full moon in Taurus, okay? Interesting, it mentions your dreams, because dreams are here too with this dream time and awakening whale card. And the card on full moon in Taurus, it says your dreams need a practical plan. So we are going to have a full moon in Taurus on November 19th when we have the full moon in Taurus eclipse. Okay, so that's in about 2 months from now. And so there's some strategic planning in the next couple of months, or there's some type of, you know, puzzle pieces to put together, or some type of planning. Page of Pentacles, your dreams need a practical plan. And you may get some of this shown to you in a dream time, pile number 3, but there's a need here to sort of lay out the steps. All right, and not to become too grouchy or grumbly about that, okay? The Page of Pentacles needs that activation, I feel. The Princess of Pentacles, that activation, that permission to make that plan and set something in motion. So I feel the next couple of months are going to be critical in that sense, all right? And I feel like some of your hesitancy maybe to form a plan was because of these crappy, shitty earth belief systems that sometimes come out of this very lackful mindset, okay? Or this tradition that everyone has to follow, right? And it's not that way for you, pile number 3. You really do, you're in the middle of a spell right now, and you really do have the authority, the strength, and the power to move yourself forward here towards what you love, towards your gifts, towards a practical offering of what you want to do, okay? So there is, you know, always more work to be done. If we incarnate, then there's a reason we're here, and there is work to be done. There is a practical plan. I'm a Taurus, so I love a practical plan, sometimes to a fault. So I can feel that energy, pile number 3. And anytime you want to write me a comment with your practical plan, I will listen to you and probably comment back and let you know, because I mean, I think that that's a cool way to be accountable with each other too. Like, say, this is what I'm shooting for. This is what I'm aiming for. This is what I'm going to put my energy into. This is my vision. This is what I want to create. And then taking those steps, okay? Regardless of what everyone else in the world is doing, good for them. But we're focused on you, okay, pile number 3? So I love that for you. I love the idea of strengthening your intuition, working with the pendulums, and giving the angels permission to work with you on a daily basis. I also feel for some of you, love is coming into your life, and this is really the first pile where I've mentioned that. So don't be too crabby or grumpy or hold yourself back too much, pile number 3, because I do see this beautiful joining of energy, okay? So thank you so much, pile number 3. Please leave me a comment, like, share, subscribe if you feel so inclined, and I hope to see you again real soon. Take care, pile number 3, and blessings to everyone.